rescues hostages. And I want to give you like an idea what the mood of the country was like. Like my son who was home from Gaza, he just literally just went back in today. Like he went back, he was back outside, and I think his tank rolled in earlier today. Oh, not about an hour or so, today. So so he was saying like we went out for last night pizza. People are dancing in the streets, like literally, and that's really what happened. So here's a clip from Tel Aviv Beach when it was announced that they were rescued.
אנחנו מצילי עיריית תל אביב-יפו שמחים ונרגשים לבשר לכם כי 4 חטופים חולצו בשלום ובחיים משבי החמאס בעזה. החטופים הם נוער בהרי, שלום זיו, אלמוג מאיר ואדרי קוזולוב. אנחנו יכולים גם לספר שנועה נפגשה כבר עם אביה שנזכה לבשרות טובות נוספות עם ישראל חי.
That was right. That means the Jewish people will survive, right? And it was again. It took a little bit of time for like the news to sink in because people were just like, really? Because we've had no good news for so long, right? You hear the round of applause. Yeah, so a bit over there, but then it kind of started kicking up a notch, and because like there's a lot of Jews who keep Sabbath so they're offline, but then afterwards, literally dancing in the street. I think that's the home of one of the hostages. I'm trying to think what would be the English equivalent to that, right? We'll meet again. I don't know, but it is. It's got that kind of like victory in World War II kind of feel. And there's only 4. We're still at 113 left, I think. Oh, there. Sorry. So I wonder. I have a neighbor who lives literally like a 2-minute walk away from me, who was one of the medical officers on one of the other rescued hostages. I bet he was there, right? I bet he was on scene. I'll say here. There's another one. This one button. Yeah, file, and there's this one over here. So again, people are feeling a bit splendy here in Israel. I don't know who really knows the lyrics. I have no idea what the song is. All right, but of course, Jews being happy, that is ashes in the mouth of all the evil people in the world, right? It is ashes in the mouth of all the evil. Well, quite well represented by the BBC. I mean, look at this report.
Of women, of children who are among the dead. It is
children. There are reports of women and children. Of course, there are reports of women and children among the dead. The reports come from Hamas. Now, I do want to point out that this woman who was kidnapped horrifically, right? I want to kind of find her kidnap video, which is, I mean, it's just horrifying. Noah. I'll put Noah. What's the name again? Noah something or other. Noah Agami. Right, that's it. And second. So, because like again, if you like, for me, it's like it's etched in my memory, right? But for you, I can't. Like I understand. It's like another Jew kidnapped, right? So it's easy to forget. Let me just grab that. Trouble is, a lot whenever I grab these videos, they always put cheesy music on it. I can't stand that. Like, you don't need to build this up. Like that's my note to these people. Let's see if we can find another one with less cheesy music on it. Oh, okay, this is good. Right. So this was a woman who was at the music festival, which they then slaughtered thousands of people. Doing. Say video as doink. There we go. One second. So before we have this is this low life piece of shit. I'm just saying that because it's the nicest thing I can think to say about her from the BBC. Let's just see what. Look how big and brave these little fucks are, right? And ever since then, like, where's the UN? Women and children. Really? Really? Right, so it's amazing that she was stood in one piece, right? I mean, absolutely amazing. She was kept in a quite a well-to-do family's home, where she was kept by a Hamas operative who also happened to work for Al Jazeera as a journalist, right? Right? See, this is who you're dealing with, right? And the father was a doctor, so they're the one who say all the people who say, "Oh, it's a terrible thing." They all seem to be the ones who kidnap and rape whenever they fucking can, right? So, with that in mind, let's listen to this entirely impartial report from the BBC.
A high civilian death toll. Would there
high civilian death toll to get our hostages back? Really? Why do you Jews murder innocent Jew-hating terrorists? Right? Why? I know you Jews are the worst. Oh,
have been a warning to those civilians for them to get out on time?
Of course, we cannot anticipate Israel to be warning ahead of a raid to extract or to save hostages, because then what the terrorists would do is to kill the hostages.
I mean, how are these people so fucking stupid? They're not just fucking. They're not fucking stupid. They just hate Jews. That's all it is. Anything a Jew does must be bad,
and that would defeat the purpose. So, of course, we cannot expect that. Yes, I agree with you that we do not know for certain that all of the people who may have died today were directly related to the effort to jail and hold.
Well, we can be reasonably sure that most of them were, right? And the rest, I mean, again, I would fucking love to be able to prosecute a war like you British or you Americans do. I would love to see that.
Israeli civilians in Gaza for 8 months. There was a significant firefight. According to testimony of Israeli soldiers, there were...
Oh, must be with the children. Again, when you say there are women and children, were these children 17-year-olds and holding Kalashnikovs? Maybe perchance. Maybe that doesn't seem to be relevant to us at the BBC because you Jews murdered women and children. Really? And were these 17-year-olds with Kalashnikovs? Were they really 42 and just said they're 7? Well, again, that's not something we should really worry about because we've got to focus on how the Jews are bad.
RPG rockets, heavy machine gun fire.
Look, this is just stuff you have around any civilian home, okay?
Grenades being thrown, and I think we cannot rule out that at least some of the alleged Palestinian casualties were a result of a reckless Palestinian fire. They may...
not only can we not rule it out, but I think we can somewhat confirm it, right? I think we can somewhat confirm it. 1 second. I'm just looking at another part of the story. Really? He's gone from the front page already? That's terrible. Let me see if we can find it.
May have been a result of Israeli fire. We don't know. But the bottom line here, what I think is the most important thing is that, again, just like we saw in Rafah about 3 months ago, Israeli civilians were held hostage by Palestinian civilians. There were Hamas armed gunmen guarding as well.
Well, of course, that's just what you claim, you Israeli Jews.
But the bottom line was that we have complicity of Palestinian civilians.
You're saying that like it's a bad thing. You know, it's their right. I mean, like, honestly, one of these news reports one day are going to be like, why do you Jews make the Palestinians go to all the trouble of killing you? Why can't you just shoot yourself? Why do you make the Palestinians buy bullets and knives to kill you? You should just buy bullets and knife yourself. Run yourselves over in your cars, and then from the river to the sea, there will be peace. I mean, obviously not between the Palestinians, because they all hate each other, right? They can't stand each other. Okay. I wanted to show quickly the fallen officer who died, who led the raid and died. Right, and hero beyond hero. Right, see if I can find a picture of him. Too many bloody heroes. There's just been too many heroes. The operation got renamed after him. But you know, I think his kids would probably still rather have a father. You know, it's you know what? I'm really fucked off that you know it's not. It's been a day, and he's not even on the front bloody page anymore of was it Times of Israel. This is the room. We'll look at this one instead. Israel National News. They're slightly better than Times of Israel. Times of Israel is more journalistic, but they're so bloody left wing. Make me sick. They really do. They really do. Operation Aaron. Let's see if we get a picture of the commander. I can just look up his name. 1 second. Operation Arrow. Oh, no. There you go. Let me see. I'll take that off. I'll go and look at the twats. What's that? Doink. Over here. Doink. Because honestly, I'm like, here you go. At last. You know, like this person's sacrifice should warrant 30 seconds out of my bloody life. So he was. We are devastated. Behind every rescue mission are Israeli men and women who risk their lives. We're devastated to share that Chief Inspector Arnon Zamora, commander and tactical operator in Yemen, the National Police counterterrorism unit, was critically when he planned the operation and he went in first, right? And he died. And like, look, the man's a hero. The man is a hero. I have nothing but respect for him. But man, I can live without there being so many fucking heroes for once, right? I mean, again, so much respect for him, but I could just live with there being less heroes. But of course, you know, the amalgamation of evil, they're not happy, right? They're not happy because Jews are happy, right? Owen fuckface Jones. God, what a piece of filth, right? So firstly, here's why I quit Labour. But nobody gives a shit, Owen. No one gives a shit. Listen to this. This op-ed, he goes, is Israel's lost. If Israel's lost, then why are you crying like a bitch? You know how we know Israel hasn't lost? Because the war in Lebanon's about to start, right? Why is the war in Lebanon about to start? Because we're fighting fucking Iran, right? We're fighting Iran, and these are different pawns that they have. And we basically wiped out Hamas at this point, right? They are gone. They are finished. They are dead, right? And he's like, oh no, the poor Palestinians, the poor civilians. And again, whatever they say, whatever the Hamas says, that must be the gospel truth, according to Owen fuckface Jones. All right? If you're celebrating the release of 4 Israeli hostages, well, actually I am, little cunt face. Actually I am. Then it's your duty. Then you're duty bound to look at the human consequences of the military operation. Don't look away. I don't trust your source. You lying fuckface cunt. Right? I don't trust your sources for good fucking reason. Graham Linden's there. being on the ball as always. Thank you, Gremlin. And of course, Julia Hartler-Brewer does actually set the best. First, we got Mendy Hassan saying, did he say, Barack Ravid saying, President Biden welcomes the rescue of 4 hostages who were held by Hamas in Gaza. We will not stop working until the hostages come home and a ceasefire is reached. Well, when I say ceasefire, they'll cease fire when they're all dead. It's essential that happens. I agree, mate. I agree. So Mendy Hassan says whoever is. Did he say anything about the dozens of innocent Palestinians? Okay, show me one. Show me one that was like raping and murdering and beheading of babies, right? Show me fucking one, okay? And then we can talk. No, innocent person killed in the way to rescue them. A way that wouldn't have been necessary if Netanyahu had agreed to the hostage release deal for all hostages, not just 4. No, it wasn't. It was for it was 3 out of the 4 wouldn't have been released. It was for women and elderly, right? That Biden claimed Netanyahu had agreed to. Well, Biden was full of shit, but what can you do? And they're claiming like, oh no, you used too much violence to get your hostages back. Oh, well, fuck you. But thankfully, we have Julia Hartler-Brewer, who is here to speak far more eloquent than me. Wow, Mendy Hassan claims that the IDF raid to rescue 4 hostages from Hamas wouldn't have been necessary if Israel agreed to the hostage release deal with Hamas. That hostage release deal included releasing thousands of Hamas terrorists. Fun fact, the hostage rescue wouldn't have been necessary if Hamas hadn't taken hostages in the first fucking place. Oh, thank you, Julia. How even unself-aware would you have to be to refer to any aspect of this as a fun fact from any side of the argument? You may need to look up sarcasm there. Oh, say, Julia, this is why we love you, right? This is why we love you. I pulled out something else from Max. Let's see what this is. But I better take it off the screen first. Oh, I think I know what this is. More of the same bullshit. So this is so we have this is what I started talking about. Initial testimony documenting the killings committed by Israeli army in the Nusret camp today. You know what? It's a camp. It's because they think at one point they're going to kill all the Jews and they'll be able to move into Israel, right? That's what the refugee camp. The Euromed HR report noticed that the Israeli army used a ladder to the home of Dr. Abin al-Jamal. He was the home that Noah was being held in, right? Oh, yeah. What evil cunts we are. We're breaking into the kidnapper's house to get the people you kidnapped back. Oh, no. How inhuman, right? Yeah, and he is a doctor. The army immediately executed 36-year-old Fatima al-Jamal. Maybe she was firing a fucking gun at them. Did you think about that? I mean, like, why were they shooting if they didn't have to? Upon encountering her on a suitcase. The forces then stormed the house, executing husband journalist Abdullah al-Jamal, 36. Yes, the person who had kidnapped somebody from a music festival because they're a Jew and held them in a house. And his father, Dr. Ahmed, 74, in front of their grandchildren. Well, listen, if you're going to bring your kids to work, this is what's going to happen, darling. Jami also shot daughter Zainab, 27, who sustained serious injuries. Maybe she was part of the heavy armed resistance. A journalist working for the US-based 501(c) organization, the Palestinian Chronicle, helping hold Israeli hostage in Gaza. Yeah, this is a gigantic story, says Sean McGuire. Don't know who are you, Sean McGuire? Let's see, you seem to be on the right side of history in this one. PhD in physics. Okay, quantum space, crypto, security. Okay, I have no idea what you're talking about. Well, good for you. The person holding Noah in his home was an Al Jazeera journalist who was also Hamas's Ministry of Labor spokesperson. What's Hamas Ministry of Labor like? Like, down with the... Let's put the gays in the salt mines before we kill them. His father, also in the house, is a doctor. And all of this in the refugee camp. Dear Wes, you've been played. You hear that? Did you hear that, little Owen Jones? You hear that? You've been played, darling. You've been played, and you are just a schmuck. So that's what's going on, essentially.
My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.